Meet Daniel Sabotei, a resilient 51-year-old farmer at Edukrom whose fields, once full of promise, now echo with silence. Daniel, who has 6 children, faced adversity when his supportive wife passed away in 2020. The loss brought numerous challenges, compounded by his current struggle with leprosy.
I began to observe unusual changes on my hands shortly after my wife's passing. Concerned about these changes, I sought medical attention, leading to a diagnosis of leprosy. This revelation has left me feeling desperate and increasingly anxious. I am engaged in farming activities, particularly in cocoa, maize, and cassava cultivation.
According to Daniel, his sickness has impacted his ability to provide for his children's education, a responsibility he once managed well.
Prior to my challenging experience, I dedicated considerable efforts to my work, meticulously weighing my cocoa beans and generating a profit of 4,000 cedis. However, it is now disheartening to see that the farm's income is insufficient even to cover the wages of laborers, let alone provide for my own needs and those of my children. His inability to wheel a cutlass and work because of his leprosy has significantly disrupted our educational pursuits. As a result, we have had to return to the village to assist him, ensuring that he can provide for the family's needs, especially the education of the younger ones. One of the challenges I face on my farm is the uneven distribution of cocoa plants, leaving certain areas empty. I am seeking assistance to fill those vacant spaces. This improvement is anticipated to boost my overall yield and subsequently increase my income.
About a year ago, 41-year-old Yao Job, a resident of Sekyere Bomso, was afflicted by leprosy, which eventually led to his mysterious death in October 2023. According to his niece, Mami Pokuya, Yao's fingers began to decay and fall off as a result of the disease.
Initially, we attributed his condition to a potential curse from a past journey. However, a health professional later diagnosed it as leprosy when it was quite advanced, resulting in the loss of his fingers and toes. He experienced constant anguish, crying bitterly until he eventually passed away. It was heartbreaking to witness the transformation of someone once energetic and active, who had worked diligently to support his family, into someone unable to even hold objects in the final stages of his life.
He emitted a strong, unpleasant odor, and maggots were emerging from his feet. While we shared the same sleeping space, unable to endure the situation any longer, I sought a separate room for him to alleviate the discomfort and provide some relief.
My uncle showed great compassion by sharing a room with him. Unfortunately, we soon recognized that my uncle's health was at risk due to this arrangement. Maggots were emerging from his leg, emitting a strong and unpleasant odor even from a distance. At times, he resorted to applying petrol on his leg, leading to the development of gangrene in his toes. Even my mother had to wear a nose mask before delivering food to him.
But Daniel and Yao's families are not the only ones who suffered the neglected tropical diseases NTDs. Efia Al-Hassan's dreams are shattering by scabies infections, and she has not been able to conduct any successful business for some time now.
I have been struggling for my well-being for nearly 2 years without success. This has led to social rejection, making it difficult for me to attend church or visit the town. Even when attempting to go out, I have to wear a sweater to conceal myself.
50-year-old Kojo Asari from Bima number 2 developed a nodule at his former residence in Prestia, which eventually burst, resulting in a medical condition known as Buruli ulcer. Despite seeking medical attention and receiving medications, his condition deteriorated rapidly. As a result, Kojo relocated to Bima number 2 to stay with his brother as he was unable to work.
The pain is particularly intense, especially after taking a bath. It becomes so unbearable that I find it challenging to sleep. The pain persists throughout the night, often lasting until dawn before I can finally find relief and fall asleep.
Currently unemployed with 4 children, Kojo has been enduring the Buruli ulcer for 4 months. Financial constraints prevent him from seeking further treatment, leading to severe pain and sleepless nights. His inability to work has created financial strain for his family, worsening their financial difficulties.
We are currently unable to muster the strength and resources needed to care for my brother Kujasari and his children. Our situation feels hopeless, and we find ourselves without the necessary resources. In our time of need, we earnestly plead with generous and compassionate individuals to extend their help to us.
When he arrived, no one could recognize him until I eventually realized it was my brother. His leg was in a state of decay, and we had to use a blade to cut through his trousers before we could remove them.
A silent epidemic grieves this district. Scabies, lymphatic filariasis, yawns, leprosy, and even deaths from rabies have cast a dark shadow. 13-year-old Rahel Agana woke up one day to find that her left leg had increased in size, displaying signs of a condition known as lymphatic filariasis, as diagnosed by medical doctors. Her father, Isaac Atenga, mentions that the condition had a significant impact on Rahel's school attendance as her classmates began to ridicule her because of the condition.
Due to her swollen legs, she initially refused to attend school, fearing mockery from her peers. However, she has now overcome these concerns and resumed her education. Despite the challenges, she maintains the vision of becoming a nurse in the future.
Rabies is a fatal viral disease transmitted through infected dog bites, while Buruli ulcer causes severe skin, bone, and tissue damage. Yawns and leprosy are chronic bacterial infections affecting the skin, bones, and nerves. Lymphatic filariasis causes abnormal enlargement of limbs and genitals due to mosquito-borne worms in the lymphatic system. These NTDs cause disfigurement, disability, among others, leading to stigma and discrimination. They primarily affect rural, conflict-ridden, and underserved areas with limited access to clean water and health care. Ghana faces 14 NTDs, with every district reporting at least 2 of the diseases. In 2023, Sekyere East District reported 2,553 cases, including scabies, lymphatic filariasis, yawns, leprosy, and 7 tragic deaths from rabies among children.
Afia yesima ye kwa wiye ochana na dichi.
Dr. Justice Ofori Amua is the Sekyere East District Director of Ghana Health Services.
Sekyere East has so far recorded about 2,471 cases of scabies for the year 2023. We have recorded 7 deaths associated with rabies. We have also recorded 55 cases of yaws. We have also put 5 cases of leprosy on treatment, and the cases are reporting. Again, we have about 22 cases of lymphatic filariasis.
Childness, ignorance, and spiritual beliefs have kept these suffering souls from seeking help, but now interventions are turning the tide. The Sekyere East District Health Directorate brings relief to those in the shadows. Evans Edu Brown is the District Disease Control Officer.
We are currently in Tunkumso. We've seen about 50 cases. 20 of them to scabies, and then the others are lymphatic filariasis. That's the NTDs. So currently, the serious ones are being referred to the facility for treatment. We are treating the minor ones here. The serious ones are being referred to the facility.
Here is Dr. Emmanuel Tenkora, the Ashanti Regional Director of Ghana Health Services.
Most of the these neglected tropical diseases can be addressed through community-based interventions, with the support of the government. So in the community, we need to do what we call community sensitization and then screening in the community. Because most of these diseases, they don't come to our hospitals because the people are not acutely ill as we know. So maybe they'll be hiding in their houses. So we need to do what we call case sets sometimes, even to identify those cases. So the role of the community is very important. That's the reason why we need to do a lot of community engagement, so as to increase awareness about these diseases and then support the community to know where they can go for treatment in event they have some of these conditions. So the community-based activities are very important, and that means that we need all the leadership in the community to help.
All what we are preaching and saying to the general public is the early reporting of any suspected case to the nearest health facility for case management.
The cases that have been taken to the hospital are being monitored closely. We are monitoring them closely so that the disease doesn't become worse there, and also the minor ones in the communities are being monitored too, so that it doesn't get to the severe stage. So currently we are still doing active case search so that we get most of the cases treated.
Daniel, Ifia, Kojo, Rahel and others are reclaiming their lives. For example, Kojo is currently undergoing medical care provided by healthcare professionals in the district. Nora Ado serves as a midwife at the Alukwaso Health Center.
As the monitoring team was moving around today, we came to find Mr. Kojo Asare, and then we discovered that he has defaulted. So we educated him, and then we plan to do small dressing on the wound for him today in the house, so that the subsequent days he will come to the facility to continue with his dressing.
I express gratitude to them in the name of the Almighty God for addressing my problem. I have faith and trust in the Lord that if this positive trajectory continues, everything will eventually be well for me.
37-year-old Dasemani Akuguri from Teteku has successfully overcome his leprosy condition.
My advice to you is that if you notice any signs, it's essential to understand that it may not be related to witchcraft. Instead, I recommend visiting the hospital for proper medical attention. In my experience, when I sought medical help, it proved to be beneficial. Initially, it started as small balls on my body, accompanied by itching. However, when scratched, it resulted in the formation of black spots on my skin.
Nana Obuo Frima Pokuya Defijasi Bamohima expresses gratitude for the timely intervention of the Health Directorate, which has brought a sense of relief to them. She emphasizes the importance of parents actively monitoring the health care needs of their children.
About time, the best stress, especially secondary schools.
I am advising parents to establish a closer connection with their children, as this would enable them to identify any sign of disease at an early stage. This proactive approach is crucial in preventing the spread of the illness within the family and beyond.
Kan abusuamu ni nyina o maame no papa ne nuanom nyina na kofo hawo kese e de aba.
Nsutam Ankobia Heni Nana Yao Buahin comments Nana Pokuya's statement, adding his agreement with the importance of parental vigilance in monitoring their children's health care.
And media dance a fire doctor no e de ba ye hu. En so ano e no kre me ba penny o wie school a fiscal bra o ba ye no. I
can testify what the doctor said. My family also experienced the disease, which was transmitted by my elder child who contracted it in school. After learning about the condition and the necessary steps to address it, I diligently took action. As a result, my family is now free from the disease. This underscores the severity of the illness, emphasizing the importance of seeking prompt medical attention rather than being hesitant if symptoms are observed.
Patricia Amani, a resident, is thrilled by the community outreach as it is instilling hope and empowering individuals to combat the disease.
We express our gratitude to God and are immensely pleased that the health workers came to educate and treat our ailment. From now on, we commit to supporting and participating in this program.
Residents from different communities in the district now say they believe that NTDs are caused by spiritual attacks has deterred afflicted individuals from seeking assistance.
First,
I used to hold the misconception that the disease was solely inherited or caused by a curse. However, after careful consideration and gaining more knowledge about the disease, I now understand that it is caused by bacteria. As a result, we have decided to prioritize regular checkups at the hospital moving forward.
Initially, I believed the disease to be of a spiritual nature, leading to the isolation of those who were infected. However, I have come to realize that isolating individuals with the disease is not the solution. What is essential is providing protection and support for those affected, rather than segregating them from our community.
The Women's Hope Foundation has been supportive to the district, offering essential aid in the battle against NTDs. Their contributions, including the provision of medical supplies and financial assistance, have significantly helped the district's efforts. Alexander Edusei is the executive director.
We were able to reach over 2,000 people with this scabies, because in schools it's rampant, because people are getting this skin diseases, scabies, and also with the LF we were able to support the district assemblies to do hydrocell, to operate those with the hydrocell. And in addition, with the people with the Buruli ulcer, we are also helping the Sekyere East District assemblies to read them to be able to, take care of their treatment, especially the wounds treatment and other, treatment. We are also searching for people with leprosy so that they will also be put in drugs.
The partners are giving us various kinds of support. Some of them are giving us funding, money. Others are giving us logistics. Others are giving us capacity building, training, and other things, and others are providing drugs that we use for the mass drug administration. So it comes in various forms, and in fact each of the partners is doing what is best based on their competitive advantage.
In the Sekyere East, the chains of NTDs are breaking and a new chapter begins. Over 600 teachers have undergone training focusing on the detection, prevention, control, and management of NTDs within schools.
So when we have pupils or children we live in our communities who have these diseases, we need to report to the health directorate or immediately take them to the hospital so that they can be attended to and then cure them from these diseases. I have learned also that with rabies, it can be cured if we attend to them early.
We believe when we go back, we will impact those knowledge on the community so that they will all be aware of those diseases. There were some diseases which those of us who are in the rural areas thought they have no control or we have no cure for those diseases. But through this workshop, we have been able to know that the district directorate under the health have a lot of medicine or cure for those diseases. So when we go back to our various schools, we will also teach them and help them to know that they have a cure for those particular diseases.
This has become necessary because most of these cases are students who live and stay with their teachers in the classroom. And if the teachers do have knowledge about the diseases, then they will be able to identify such cases and refer them for immediate treatment.
Over 300 dogs have also been vaccinated against rabies in 5 selected communities. District Veterinary Officer Irene Efua Aqua highlights the significance of targeting communities with high number of dogs.
They use the dogs for hunting, so they believe that vaccinating their dogs against rabies disease, when they send their dogs for hunting, they will not hunt animals for them. But this perception, it is not true. For them, it is true to them, but for us, it is not true. So we want to erase such a mentality from their minds that at least every year they should vaccinate their dogs against rabies disease. Otherwise, when they go for hunting and they encounter the domestic dogs encounter with these bush animals, they transmit the disease to them, then they bring them home. It becomes a burden, then they also bite the human beings. At the end of the day, when it bites them, they won't send them to hospital.
Do is when you bring the dog, sometimes some of the dogs are very, they don't want human beings to even to touch them. So what we do is we muzzle them with a muzzle. We have a muzzle. We muzzle them. When we restrain them, or the owner will restrain the dog for us. Then we have something called subcoats. In our technical term, we have subcoats. We hold any part of the body or the surface of the body, so we inject it. What we do is this vaccine is mostly done under the subcoat of the dog or the cat. So when we restrain the dog, we give it a muzzle so it cannot bite. In case maybe we wrongly give the vaccine somewhere. So when the dog tells you, it cannot bite anybody.
I looked for the money. And I looked for the money. And I have looked for it. Come on.
The Member of Parliament for Efijasia Sekyere constituency, Dr. Nana Ayu Afriye, says capacity building for health personnel is crucial. That's why he has looked for funding to support.
Say leprosy, say I mean, the view on it's difficult for you to say, but let's recognize that disability.
Many diseases can be intimidating to discuss, but it's crucial to recognize that early prevention measures are often readily available. Early detection and intervention play a significant role in managing and preventing the progression of various health conditions.
Everybody in the whole you cannot treat the people. And then they cannot even look for the cases.
Chief of Nsutam, Nana Aje Juma, has donated a 2-acre piece of land for the construction of a specialized treatment center for NTDs in the country.
Ghana is a sizable nation and it is essential for all citizens to contribute to the government's efforts. I appeal to everyone to assist in establishing a polyclinic which will not only serve as a healthcare center but also create job opportunities for the community. These collective efforts can contribute to the overall well-being and prosperity of the country.
The facility is expected to be completed within the next 2 years, pending sufficient funding. Dr. Justice Ofori Amua has expressed his commitment to ensuring the operationalization of the facility, affirming that his team would intensify efforts towards this goal.
So we just want to employ the various district directors, the other regional directors, and even our partners, the World Health Organization, UNICEF, and all NGOs who are into health to put their hands on deck to support us in this fight against these diseases.
District Chief Executive for Sekyere East, Ose Adia, has extended a plea to all well-to-do individuals, charitable foundations, government officials, among others, with knowledge and resources to support the ongoing intervention.
A heartfelt
plea is extended to all well-to-do individuals, charitable foundations, government officials, pharmacists, and health practitioners with knowledge and resources to come to our aid in Sekyere East. Your support is crucial in helping us eradicate this disease and improve the health and well-being of our community. Together, we can make a meaningful impact and create a healthier future for all.
So far, as I've outlined here, the diseases are still there. So we need more funding so as to help us to reduce the incidence.
Breaking the chains, one community at a time. A report by Mohammed Nuruddin.
Nkwadaa ne mpanyinfo na yadeɛ na amode ba na yɛ yade koro nyinaa yɛ ɔmo a mo dwi ɔmo ho